Hey guys, what's up? NullRage here, and today we're taking a look at Venom, the latest hero to be added to Marvel Heroes. Let's go ahead and hop in and have a look at his synergies here. All the way down at the bottom, Venom at level 25 will grant you 3% health, and at level 50, 5% damage if you are below 50% HP. This is great for himself, Moon Knight, and some builds on Ghost Rider, giving them options to a huge damage boost. 5% is pretty good, below that 50% HP marker. He's got 3 trees here, the first one focusing mostly on melee skills. The middle one here, Monstrosity, focusing on a lot of ranged, and Symbiosis giving him some passive bonuses. Also, these skills right here are mutually exclusive. You have points in one, you can't get the other. Same goes for all 6 of these. They're not tied to each other up and down in any way, but they are tied sideways. You are either indestructible or you are unstoppable. You are either powerful or you are cunning. You are either lethal or you are Legion. And we'll go over what exactly that means here in a bit. But first, let's have a look at his melee tree. Alright, so before we get too far into this, I should mention all of this is recorded in a very early build of the test center, and Venom is, like, the ultimate's not even in the build. It says coming soon. So there are a lot of things that aren't finished that will receive a lot of polish over the next week or so. So, just keep that in mind and don't judge too harshly what you see here. Alright, so first off, we've got Hungry Claws. It's a basic, it's going to deal some physical damage and regenerate 8% of your missing health. If you don't have any health missing, it's not going to give you any life on hit. That's one thing to keep in mind versus other life on hit mechanics, is if you're not missing any health with this, you're not going to regen anything. Now, moving on, we've got Dark Tendrils, and this is going to play into his Ichor mechanic. Ichor is his spirit replacement. It does not fill like normal spirit. It fills off of using certain skills, like this one, Dark Tendrils here, restoring your Ichor at the cost of health. You'll use 5% of your HP, current HP, I should stress that. The lower and lower you get, the less and less this is going to cost to restore your Ichor. And your Ichor can be spent to use other skills, which we'll talk about here in a minute. One coming up is Deadly Maw. But first, let's also have a look at Come to Venom. So we had Dark Tendrils, physical damage, restore Ichor at the cost of health. And now we've got Come to Venom. Physical damage, melee power base damage is increased by 10% for 8 seconds when you use this skill. And it will restore 250 Ichor. It's going to cost 20% of your current HP. That's quite a hefty price, but that buff is really good. The damage on the skill is pretty decent, and restoring 250 Ichor, not percent, Ichor, is pretty solid. So now we move into Deadly Maw, the final piece of this 3-part mechanic chain that you're working with. And that is dealing the burst damage, dealing that extra damage, using your Ichor to deal large amounts of damage. You've got physical damage here, and it also increases the damage for each 25% health that you are missing. If you are under 25%, that's going to total up to 30% damage increase. You can't get that final 25% because then you'd be dead. But you will get that 30% damage increase if you're below 25% HP. Let's go ahead and drop below and then hit with this Deadly Maw. As you can probably tell right here, Dark Tendrils does not have a sound to his attacks yet. That is one thing. And Deadly Maw is the same way. There's no sound audio to this attack yet, but let's have a look here at Deadly Maw. Am I below 25%? I gotta get just below. There we go. Okay. Now, lots of damage with this big bite thing. And I love the animation for that. The animation is really good. That he just turns into a mouth and just devours the target. And like we mentioned earlier, the lower and lower you get, the less and less current HP you're actually spending. Each time I use this, it's taking less and less HP to do it. And eventually, I don't think you can kill yourself with these. You definitely can't. I'm gonna test it real quick. Can you? Can you kill yourself? Lower and lower. Here we go. We're gonna find out. We're not gonna find out. The regen, the just passive regen, will eventually keep you up. And there it goes. There it goes. At about 90. Okay, this is so pointless and unneeded for this video, but I just want to test it. I don't. Okay, there it is. There's the mark. There's the mark. 80 HP. 80 HP. There's the mark. Your passive regen will keep you up. You cannot go below this just using this skill.
You're nothing!
But, you know, if you're below 80 HP, you're gonna get, like, slaughtered by any enemy that walks up and says hi. But, anyway. Next in the tree, where the hell were we? That was completely unneeded, and anyway. Infect, passive, regenerate 10% of your missing health when you hit a weakened enemy. And, physical damage over 8 seconds. Weaken applied by this skill. Alright, so it weakens targets and also has that passive on it. If you have any other skills that are weakening targets, then this is going to be, you know, it'll apply that extra life on hit. Here's Infect. It's a pretty cool looking skill. I like the animation on it. It's very quick animation, but cool nonetheless. And of course, applying that dot, 8 seconds, pretty good duration on that. Right, next we've got Tendril Barrage. Physical damage 4 times per second, 1% damage per 1% of attack speed. So attack speed will increase the damage of this skill. And regenerate health when you defeat an enemy. It's got an ongoing Ichor cost as well. Let's have a look. Tendril. Was it Barrage? Tendril Barrage? Yeah. I love the animation on this. He just holds his hands out and waves them right there. It's pretty ridiculous, but I like it. Next up, we've got Web Swing here. Swing forward, suspended by web, knocking down all enemies in your path. Physical damage, knockdown, and restore Ichor. It's got a small health cost. And, you know, that skill could be a good way to keep your Ichor up, probably. If you're using these two, giving you that regen. I don't know, I have to play around with that. And now we've got Hungry Maw here. Physical damage, knockdown duration, regenerate huge amounts of HP. And the HP goes up. Regenerate even more HP the more points you put into it. It's got a pretty massive Ichor cost and an 8-second cooldown, though. Let's have a look at the Hungry Maw. Transforms into a mouth, jumps onto his target, devours it whole.
Not without more energy.
Wait, what? You want more energy? Alright, there we go. We got some Ichor. I like that. I like the animation on that. Alright, so moving on to Monstrosity. Let's go and get these on the bar. And that one right there. Alright, first up we've got Symbiote Surge, physical damage, and like the Deadly Maw over here, the lower your HP is, the more damage it's going to do, up to 30% when you're below 25% HP. It's got a rate of fire of 2.1 seconds. Let's have a look at Symbiote Surge. Oh, I didn't have enough. Here, let me get some Ichor back. Helps to have Ichor to actually use these moves. I like the animation on this. It's a frontal line attack. And Predator's Web is going to feel very, very familiar if you're a Spider-Man player. Physical damage, slows, applies vulnerability, it's got a small health cost, and restores Ichor. That's a really good return. I think the maybe the best return that I've seen. 0.7. These are probably not like anywhere close to done, but 0.7% current HP. I think it's supposed to be 7% because the numbers. Anyway, the tooltips are probably a little bit off. I think that's supposed to be like 7% of your current health or something. Restore 100 Ichor. Maybe it's supposed to be 10%. Anyway, Predator's Web. Let's have a look. Right. Applying slow and vulnerability. 5-second duration. And Web Swing. Hold down the hotkey to swing above enemies and obstacles. Now I really like this animation. It's a little bit. It feels a little bit slow, but then Venom is a big character. He's a lot bigger than, say, Spider-Man. So, you know, him swinging around like this might be a bit more leisurely than Spider-Man would be. Alright. Now we've got the basic in this tree, Web Snapshot, dealing physical damage and regenerating 8% of your missing health on hit. Same as Hungry Claws, sort of, but for the ranged build. Pretty cool. Next up, we've got Web Barrage. Physical damage, restore Ichor, cost health. And the skill says it's a barrage, but it's kind of slow. But, again, Venom, slow character. You know, his idea of a barrage could be a bit slower than someone else's idea of a barrage. Alright, and now we've got Amorphous. There we go. Amorphous. And this is your CC breaker. It's also got this amorphous adaptation. Symbiosis passives enhance the effect of this power. We'll get into exactly how they do that here in a second, but first let's go over Writhing Tendrils. Physical damage, immobilize, ranged power boost, similar to Come to Venom. It's going to boost your ranged skills. It's a 4-second cooldown. I like the animation. And it looks like, does it... Let me gain up a little bit more Ichor. Does it just... Oh, cool. It sends out like 3 of these things that all explode on their targets, maybe? Let's try it over here. Yeah, I saw some explosion over here. So it sends out 3 tendrils that all seek out a target. Well, not seek out, but, you know, they all go out in a direction and they can hit separate targets. That's pretty cool. I think they do an AoE when they hit too, it seemed. There's a lot happening with this skill, I guess is my point. Yeah, definitely a lot happening with that skill, and not all clear by the tooltip. Anyway, moving on to Symbiosis. We are indestructible. We are unstoppable. Now, these two are mutually exclusive. The first one, we are indestructible. It's going to modify Amorphous Adaptation, the skill over here, that when you use it, you break CC and get some bonuses, to regenerate HP when you activate it. It's also going to give you passive bonuses, 20% damage negated, maximum health increase, regenerate health per second, and regenerate 100% of your maximum HP when you are defeated. Also, when you are below 35% of your maximum HP, you will regenerate HP per second for 3 seconds. And here's the scaling on all of that. Again, you know, this is early test center stuff, so don't put too much stock into the scaling of things. Let's go ahead and put a point in that for now. Choices you've made will prevent you from selecting these powers without a retcon device to reallocate your power points. We are unstoppable. Right. So if we pick this, we won't be able to get We Are Unstoppable. Let's go ahead and pick it for now. And we'll go over We Are Unstoppable here in a minute. Actually, I probably should have gone over that to begin with. Hold on. We got this, bros. We got this. There we go. Okay. Now, We Are Unstoppable, a different take on this We Are Indestructible thing.
And with that,
and
our enemies will fall.
Alright, Venom. Alright, we'll get to that in a minute. Alright, negate 50% of incoming damage for 2 seconds when you activate Amorphous. And it also gives you those passive bonuses. Damage negated 20%. It's slightly different, giving you defense, health cost reduction, and for 10 seconds after being dealt a killing blow, your health cannot be brought down below 1. So instead of reviving you to max HP, it instead prevents the killing blow and makes you invulnerable for 10 seconds, pretty much. Not really invulnerable, but unable to be killed. And then after those 10 seconds, if you haven't regened your HP, then you's in trouble. In addition, instead of regenning, when you are below 30% max HP, you get another 20% damage negated. This one sounds pretty cool. I think I really like this one, We Are Unstoppable, over We Are Indestructible. But we'll have to see. It depends on what kind of health restoration you can get going with the rest of the build. I'll have to play on both and see which one's working out better. So next up, we've got the choice between We Are Powerful and We Are Cunning. Let's have a look. We Are Powerful. Cower all nearby enemies for 1 second when you activate Amorphous. And melee powers have a 25% chance to fire Symbiote Surge. Symbiote Surge is this one. That's cool. That's really cool, actually. So you could go this tree, but max out Symbiote Surge, put a point in here, and anytime you use a melee power, you could fire this, making you a hybrid. I don't know. There's some build ideas to test out there. That sounds really cool. I gotta try some stuff with that. You and your allies gain toughness as well, increasing your defense, and so on and so on. And damage rating to melee powers and crit rating to melee powers. Melee damage negated, so you will also negate damage from other, from melee attackers. Pretty good scaling there. Like that, almost 600 to the damage rating and the crit rating. And then We Are Cunning is the ranged equivalent. Ranged powers apply infect, so it does have a similar thing to this 25% chance to Symbiote Surge. It has ranged powers apply infect. Infect, of course, is this damage over time. That's really cool. Again, another thing to play with. I like this. I like this a lot. It's also going to give you that power and increase your ranged damage rating and crit rating, as well as giving you a little bit of projectile deflection. Now, the ranged damage rating seems a little bit low in scaling or something like that. And instead of cowering your enemies, it will cause you to become invisible. Now we've got the choice between Lethal or Legion. And I haven't scrolled over Legion, the actual tooltip for it, intentionally, because it's pretty cool. I like Legion. We'll have a look at it here in a second. But first, We Are Lethal. Amorphous adaptation, gain 250 Ichor when you activate Amorphous. Damage 5% for Ichor powers, and increases your maximum Ichor. Your Ichor cost is also reduced. This could be really good if you find a really good Ichor power that you want to use regularly. What was the... Which one did I say was gonna... Ooh, this one, Tendril Barrage. It's an Ichor power. Pretty awesome. So, there you go. Alright, now We Are Legion. A lot of people have been asking, is Venom a summoner? Can Venom summon? Well, here's the answer. Amorphous Adaptation instantly creates 3 symbiote spawns when you activate Amorphous. Again, that CC skill. 25% chance when you spend Ichor to create a symbiote spawn. Symbiote spawns have physical damage listed on the skill there. I don't know if they scale off summon damage. Like, you know, it's not listed as a summon skill in the tags, but this is Test Center. We might get tags added. I'm not sure. Honestly, I would prefer that it wasn't summon skill, because that would mean it would scale off his normal damage rather than his summon damage. And since he's only got that one skill in the tree that summons things, that would be for the best. Because you don't want to stack summon damage on a character that only has one summon skill. We'll see how that plays out. But in the meantime, yes, he can summon things. Symbiote spawns also regenerate some of his HP when they hit. When they hit? Yeah, when they hit. Alright. And then we've got symbiotic spikes. And we'll have a...
We're even stronger than ever.
See, let's put a point into Legion here. You know, this one's pretty straightforward right here. The Ichor does more damage. Got it. But we definitely want to see those. And I'm gonna do this. And then we'll do the region. Alright, so now when I put points into all of these, I can't select the others. It's going to give me Amorphous here, will then gain all of these different effects. Let me put a point in there.
And with that, our enemies will fall.
Alright, now, symbiotic spikes here, or I guess we should go over all of this. I'm going to just go ahead and pop Amorphous, gain those symbiote spawns here. There they are. Are they... Oh, those are cool looking. Look at them. They're little baby Venoms. That's cool. And I guess... What all did it say? I have a 25% chance when I spend Ichor. So let me put something into... Something that'll spend Ichor. This has an Ichor cost. It also has a cooldown. Let's do this.
We're even stronger than ever.
So when I spend Ichor, I have a chance to summon those little dudes. I don't see any of them. I'm not seeing them. Where are they at? Where my where are my dudes at? I don't know. But I can just pop that on cooldown to keep them up. They've got a 15-second cooldown. The skill has a 15-second cooldown, and they have a 15-second duration. So if you're popping Amorphous every 15 seconds, then they're up all the time anyway. You've always got the 3 of them. So you don't have to worry about that extra spend Ichor to summon them thing, but it's there if you need it. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about Symbiotic Spikes. This is his signature. Ensnare nearby prey in a composite of webbing and tendrils to drag them to your awaiting array of hardened, impaling symbiote spikes. I'm not sure if this one's quite done yet. I've used it a little bit. I used it once and it did some weird things. But let's go ahead and have a look. Just keep in mind that it may not be done yet. So it looks like I think he pulls things in, and then y'all can't see my hand motions. I need a webcam so you can see me throwing my hands in the air. But anyway, he pulls things in, and then he brings spikes up from the ground, throwing them up into the air. It seems pretty cool. And once the damage tuning is done, I think it might be a really cool attack. We'll have to see how it plays out. And now, this skill, finally, Parasitic Tendrils, is a drain. It's going to drain up to 3 targets around you. It's going to deal physical damage and restore Ichor and health on hit. This is a pretty cool skill. I like it, at least. There you go. It doesn't have any sound to it, but the animation is awesome. And I imagine that when one of its selected target dies, it probably just chooses another target. It is a channeled skill, and you can't move while you're doing it. Um, so I would have to imagine that if one of these targets died, it would just select another one. That's a pretty cool skill, though. I like it. And then again, we are Venom, the ultimate. I can't. I'm gonna go ahead and can I even? No, it's completely disabled. I'm hitting the button. It don't work. So we'll see that in the next build. I will be doing another, video going over at least the ultimate and probably a lot of changes that I imagine will happen over the next week or so. Uh, so that's it, guys. That's Venom. At least an initial look. Very, very interesting. Honestly, a little bit confusing to me. I'm a little bit slow sometimes though, so maybe he's a little bit easier to understand than I'm coming up with.
Our
But
enemies won't
he's
like
got a lot of
this.
options. I'm interested to see how this, spending your health, getting Ichor, using your Ichor, dealing damage, then regenerating your HP back. This 3-step rotation. I'm interested to see how it plays out. We'll have to see. If you've enjoyed this video, this first look at Venom, then make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I think we're going to take a look at Hulk next, and I can't wait. Car gloves! Car gloves! Alright, I will see you later. Until then, take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.